endothermic and exothermic reactions.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So by the end of this episode, you are going to get, of course, full notes for the endothermic and exothermic reaction topic. I think it's fairly short. Hopefully unconfused, like less confused about less confused about the differences between the two, because the third thing you're gonna get is basically a at a glance of thing going on. It's a at a glance note. All right. So the thing about studying is that you want it to be as quick as possible and as easy as possible. uh, Recently after technology, almost like you're in the Matrix, and they have this like plug that you can put at the back of your skull, information inside. So the concept behind ImagineNotes was actually that. Yeah, I asked, how could we achieve a similar effect without having to study so hard? Yeah, because I mean, Joe, I don't know about you, I don't know about you guys out there, but we were I am definitely that those kids who can sleep in every class and still get A stars.
No, not
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Or like some of our friends who would like during the A levels exams go out and play Dota the night before the test A levels and walk out with high distinctions. If you find that disgusting,
Yes.
it's okay. It's okay to find it disgusting because I know I do. Yeah. Hang on. I think my table's a little bit higher, so I'm gonna just pull it downwards. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So essentially that's what that's the concept. And for those of you who don't know us, I'm Erica and that's Joe. Yeah.
Hi.
And he hi. And we're teachers who hated studying because memorizing did not work for us. And for today, I want to add one more thing. It's the fact that um, memorizing all that information seemed very meaningless. Yeah. And I always feel like you guys have, like, as a student, like, you guys have all the time in the world to explore so many different things. And life is much more than studying, and you are worth much more than your grades. And that's the reason why we created ImagineNotes, so that you could have that similar matrix effect where stabby stab at the back of your skull and download everything. So yeah, because that technology definitely does not exist yet.
Hmm.
And that's how it is. Yes. So if you're the type of person who likes that kind of ease, and you want to explore other things in your life without without uh,
The hassle.
yeah, studying getting in your way, like you want to keep your grades so that you can do what you love. Like our students love to dance, they like art, and sometimes the parents are like, oh, you can't do that until you learn until you raise your grades, or if you can maintain your grades. And if their grades fall, then the parents are like, please quit. Yeah, so that's not what we want for you. Yeah, because like those are activities where you will learn skills that you will need for when you become an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. More than the study skills. The study skills get you the paper, which is honestly nowadays just a backup.
Yeah.
All right. So if you guys are liking what you're hearing, Joe, what can they do?
Me?
Hmm? I said if they like what they're hearing, the philosophy, and
Right.
how we view studying and education. Yeah, what can they do?
You can like and subscribe to our channel or follow us on our TikTok or Instagram. Now we are basically everywhere. Soon we will be opening up like the Discord community as well. Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna be exciting.
We'll
Yeah. So if
have
you guys
every
want
one of you there and discuss about your study.
Yes, you're gonna have a community of like-minded people with regards to studying. I would call them study hackers, if anything. All right. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so I promised an at a glance kind of note. And one of the best ways to do at a glance notes is to actually have a table. Pardon the fact that my straight lines look drunk. Yeah, pardon the fact that my straight. Because I don't know who can really draw an exact straight line, or maybe not anyone. It won't be perfectly straight, but it'll be definitely straighter than this.
Recently, there's a challenge of drawing perfect circle with just one swirl. That
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Well, if I was a machine, I'd probably enter that challenge.
I think it's a TikTok challenge or something. Yeah. You get to draw a perfect circle with your wrist power.
My wrist power. My wrist has no power. All right. So like I mentioned before, at a glance notes, like, see, what you want to do for studying is that every time you design something for yourself, or every time you sit down to study, or you make a note, and most of the time for people to save time and to make it efficient, people take notes to cut down on the unnecessary.
Mm.
Okay, for an imagine note, you're taking it one step further. You're not just cutting down the unnecessary, but you're designing it in a way where you can download the information, yeah, into your brain. Yeah, or it comes close lah. Okay, it comes close. All right. Of course, the best way is to do, like to feel things and all that, because the retention is 90%. But barring that, an imagine note will do. All right.
Mm.
We did this because, like, I know some of you may not have the good fortune of attending the schools that we've created, and so our Studio E is dedicated to bringing the good things in school out to you guys. Yeah, it's just that for our school, if you actually come in, it's a huge culture shock. So we got to do it like bit by bit. That's what we have learned, bit by bit, so we don't scare people off. All right. Okay, so let's begin. All right. So you have a table here, and I find a table helps me distinguish differences. So when I'm studying, and I'll use pictures as well. So if you've been joining us week after week, we tend to use a lot of pictures.
Mm.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is I broke it down into like a couple of sort of features or characteristics. Actually, I think the better word of it would be characteristics. Sorry. Okay, it's a mess, but it works. Okay, for those of you who are really, really visual, you can, of course, do a prettier one than me. All right, for me, I'm more kinesthetic, so I don't really care as long as the information's on that paper. All right, so we're gonna do. I'm not gonna use blue. I'm gonna use green. All right, so we're gonna do. Okay, so we were confused with the differences between exothermic and endothermic reaction. Yeah, and there's a great video by Tyler DeWitt that teaches the
Mm.
concept. And after watching that, we're like, oh, okay. So because the problem
Yeah.
is that most people think of it as hot or cold, and that
Mm.
just messes everything out. So he explains it in there, and you can even he even like shows the concept. So the thing you want to focus on for him is he encourages us to focus on the direction of the heat.
Yeah.
Okay. I should use orange here. Sorry, guys. Okay, Yeah, I don't really have a orange marker, so we're just gonna bear with me here. Okay, so let's just draw a cup. So think about it. For exothermic, all right, the heat leaves, right? It leaves like a bad date,
You
or you
can
could or you could draw it like an exit sign. So I'm gonna use an orange pen here. I hope you guys can see it. All right. So the heat leaves the glass.
it's like
Okay.
really, really heated environment so that everyone just walk away from each other.
Yeah. Yes, you could I mean, like, for me, I would draw, these flame guys. Like, I'm out of here. All right. So totally have fun with that, because again, for those of you who've been joining us and for those of you who haven't been, what we say is that the more visual you make it, the more likely it will be that you would remember it. So see, at a glance. All right. Let me just. I realized the glasses have nothing. All right. And the next one is
Multi-classes.
so yeah. And if you want, you can draw. If you want to make it funny, you can draw like those exit signs.
Yeah.
Right? So you can draw exit and then you can draw the flame, kind of skedaddling out of there.
Remember it by putting arrows to the tip of the X. That's what teacher Charles said. So it shows the arrow point upwards.
So teacher Charles, his hack is putting the tips of the putting arrows to the tips of the axe.
The drawing it also show the arrows like an X. X for exothermic. Oh, okay. Got it.
That's a really good way to do it. So I'm just arrows outwards this way. Yeah. So there are so many ways to do this. We're just showing you like one of the many ways. Yeah. Yeah. And if you have a like a better idea of doing it, do it. Yeah.
Go
This
ahead
is
and
not.
do it.
Yeah. This is not the be all and end all. Okay.
Yeah,
Nah.
not the Bible of everything.
Nah, it is not the Bible, okay? So, yes, we just show you possibilities to inspire you, all right? Because imagine notes about using your imagination, and your imagination is limitless. All right?
Everyone is different.
Yes. All right. So let's move in. Let's move on to endothermic, which is the heat moving inwards. Yep. Oh yeah, for those of you who are looking to do your notes, join us for this half an hour. Grab a pencil, grab a pen or a pencil, and your notebook. And yeah, even if it's not exactly this, you could try. Like, you could definitely work it. Yeah.
Hey.
Okay. So endo sounds like into. So
Indoor.
into, right? So you're gonna draw the little flames here. All right, they're going in there. They're loving it. They're living the life. Okay, yeah. All right, so that's one. I'm gonna attempt a drunk straight line. Oh yeah, that's very drunk. Sorry. Oh, at least I kept to my word. Yeah. All right. What's the next feature? Okay. Ooh, temperature. Did I have temperature?
Yes. Temperature of the surroundings, I guess.
Oh yes. Okay. It's more that whether the temperature rises or not. So you know what? Let's make it easy. I always associate temperature with a thermometer, so I just draw a thermometer. That's so dark. Okay, yeah. So I draw a thermometer, and then for exothermic,
Increased and then endo decreased. Probably just arrow up and down.
yeah. Okay, and that's it.
Yeah.
You could actually, we gotta be more specific. So temperature of
Surrounding.
reaction mixture. Yeah. So in exothermic, it increases, meaning that gives off heat. So like combustion, as Joe was telling me. Yep. So yes, here comes another drunk line. Drunk. Okay, that's not bad. All right, let's go. Next one is the. Oh, okay. So we could do enthalpy change. Let's do enthalpy change first before we dive into the examples. Yeah, examples should always be last. I find when you're doing notes, right? So let's go. Okay. Enthalpy changes would be, what's enthalpy change? Positive for, okay, so it's negative for exothermic.
Yeah, it's always less than 0.
Yep. So,
So
oh my
for
god.
those of you who don't really understand what is the enthalpy change, this is the little delta sign with a H among the paragraphs in the textbook. That's basically to calculate the difference of the energy when the reaction happens.
Okay, so where I look at this part, right? If you want to make it fun as well, uh, I would actually draw all the heat going in here, or sorry, all the heat exiting here, right? So that you can tell why it's negative, because like when the heat leaves, it's like representing negative heat energy.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not there, so it's like disappearing, disappearing, disappearing. It's negative, right? And then you can draw the lines in here. All right. So therefore, so that's how I think about it. It would be positive because there is like all these little fire creatures inside. You can draw the fire creatures. It's up to you how you want to represent this. Yeah, over here the fire creatures have gone with the wind. Okay, there we go. All right. So you see at a glance, right? Even if you didn't have this, you still have this. So you can already see that why it's negative because everyone's left, right? Everyone's exited. All right. Over here, everyone's entered. So therefore, it'll be positive. Okay. So let's move on. All right. If you want, as a little bonus, let us do the definition of enthalpy change for you in a fun like using memenomics. Hopefully, let's see if we can get that. If we can actually like nail that. Okay. So next one is examples. Okay, as much as possible, for at a glance notes, you want to use as many pictures as possible. That's why mind maps are so powerful. When you mind maps are so powerful when you actually draw pictures, because the brain,
Hmm.
remember, the brain loves pictures. It is a scientific fact. Yeah. All right. So let's go with this. All right. Let's see. For physical process, okay, for endothermic reactions, all right, you have, because heat is entering, right? So that's why evaporation, okay, boiling, okay, and melting. It's kind of all part of that. Yeah. All right. Then there's also dissolving ionic compounds. Okay, that's how I would represent ionic compounds. All right, and then what else do we have? Crystalline salts. In this case, I'm just going to draw a glass with a crystal in here, melting, dissolving, fading away. All right, and then what else? Crystalline salts. Okay, so this is physical. Then you also have the chemical, which again, it's the same thing. Just draw that, okay? But you guys get the idea, all right? Over here, and just to show you guys what it means by at a glance, let me see. All right, I have condensation. So, oh my God, okay. Okay, I hope he's not typing anything weird in the chats because he's lying on my keyboard. So I've got gas turning into water. So that represents condensation. All right. Then I've got freezing, so water into ice. Okay. All right. Dissolving. I have no idea how to draw this, but I did do an imagine note about the term anhydrous, which means absent of water.
Yeah.
Absence of water. So yeah, you guys can check it out. It's on our social media. Yeah. So you can draw that in here if you want. You can draw anhydrous hiding behind a rock, right? But yeah, so you could do that, or you could just write it. So some things you might not be able to draw, and that's okay, right? And then dissolving of acids. I'm going to draw, well, I always think that acids are corrosive. Science teachers might actually shoot me here for because I know alkalis can be corrosive as well.
Yeah.
But like for me, I always associate corrosive stuff with acid. Yeah. All right. So can you guys see? It's at a glance. All right. So the idea here is that when you pull your study notes out, right, you should be able to tell this at a glance. So we've basically essentially condensed about 4 to 5 pages of textbook into 1 page of notes.
Mm.
Mm. Okay. Now the other thing is that I find this topic quite confusing, and it is confusing if you learn it in terms of like step by step. Oh, this is that. Exothermic reaction is this, endothermic reaction is that. So one channel that I would like to recommend to you guys, because this teacher teaches in terms of concept. So again, Joe and I are not
Not
science.
chemistry.
Yeah, we're not chemistry experts, nor are we bio experts. So it was pretty interesting the other day because I got called out for for my note
No.
about etiolation. Yeah, I got called out for that. But it's because like in the textbook it didn't really explain much. So I actually went online
Mm.
to find the definition of etiolation because I didn't understand what it actually meant. They used it to describe something that happens to the plant, but that's about it. Yeah.
Mm.
So then when I saw the description, I was like, oh, I think it's that, right? So beyond that, I couldn't find anything else. So this person actually explained what it was to me step by step, and I was just like, great, this is perfect. This is why we've just put stuff out there, and so we can learn from each other. So I was really grateful to that person because I couldn't find anything that made sense
Mm.
about etiolation. So um, yeah, so where was I going with that? Yeah, but essentially, yeah, we love doing this stuff. We love sharing. Yeah. So let us know also because we have different formats. Like last week, we actually had the note done, and then we'll explain to you guys why we did what we did. But this time around, we went back to the older format, which is to draw it and explain it. Okay, you just let us know which one you prefer. And also a shout out to Amber who requested exothermic and endothermic reactions. I got a DM. She's confused as heck. So I hope that this video sorts it out for you. And in terms of the confusion, the big thing is that you want to find teachers who teach you concept. Yeah, like in high school, I kind of gave up learning anything chemistry or physics because no one could teach me why. Yeah, no one could teach me why we had to learn this. So even this as well, like why is it so important for us to learn the transfer of heat? For once today, Joe and I actually don't have answers for you. Yeah, do you have any answers, Joe?
What kind of answers?
Like why do they have to learn exothermic or endothermic reactions?
Mm. What I know is briefly because it has something to do to calculate the energy when when a substance bonding of the bond of the substance, whether it's breaking or bonding lah. So it's that. Then it will then determine whether the state of that particular substance is in which state when when a particular changes happen.
You reminded me of the last one. Forgot
Yeah,
bonds.
because it's all about balance, ma, chemistry.
Yep.
Yeah, they just want to be stable, you know.
So I'm gonna draw here because you need heat to break bonds. And then in this case, this one forms. I'm gonna draw like a plaster.
Yes.
All right. If you want to take it one step further, you could draw like really unhappy, like, huh. Hang on. Huh. Two molecules that are super unhappy with each other. Their arms are crossed. They're angry. They're facing away from each other. Yeah, over here you can draw them kind of like in love and holding hands and like we belong together. Kissy face. All right. So at a glance. Yeah, there we go. So we hope that this inspires better note taking skills for yourself and saves you time. Most importantly, saves you time. Like reduces your study time so that you can go out there and do what you love.
Yep.
And if you love the idea of that, we also release content about study tips and life life lessons that could actually help you, and also all with the intention of, I guess, like creating that, helping you create that ease in your life, because studying is really so difficult. And we remember being students, it's not easy. And it sucks also when the adults say, oh, when I was your age, we had it even tougher. Yes, in some instances, because their context is different. So, I mean, every single thing there'll be difficulties. Even if you did what you loved, right?
Yep.
You will also face difficulties. So, yeah. So, but some people don't understand that. Yeah.
Oh, it has something to do with mole as well.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
We're gonna find out the answers for you, and we will post up something with regards to that, whatever we find, because we were so we found something about chromatography that helped us understand what it was after 17 years
uh, uh,
of, of leaving high school. And I was just like, oh my gosh, why didn't someone say it this way back then? So we always try to bring it into these sessions, but for today we just didn't find anything. Sorry guys. Yeah. Yeah. But other than that, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry we're a bit late. I'm testing out a new setup and it took a bit longer than I thought to actually set up. Yeah. Right now I'm not sure whether my eye contact is all over the place or whether I'm looking at you guys or not, because it's a new setup.
Probably not when you are actually drawing.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like when I'm talking, like do I stare at Joe? Do I, like, or do I look up at the camera? So yeah, you guys let me know if anything. Yeah, and let us know also in the comments whether you preferred us to have the note pre-drawn and we take you through our thought process for this, or would you prefer us like drawing bit by bit,
Doing it on the spot.
doing it on the spot? I think Joe, it might be time for us to review this format and the other format, like just look through the videos and see the pacing. Yeah, because I am looking at the audience count,
Yep.
and I think the other format might actually serve better. But yeah,
I
you guys.
definitely like the pre-drawn.
Actually, me too, because we can take more time to explain and even come up with variations for you guys. Whereas on the spot, then this is the one variation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have other ideas. So, all right, let's make an executive decision. Any notes from here on out, we pre-draw it, and then
Yeah.
we'll present it to you guys with why we did it this way. Yep.
Highly, highly.
Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining us. We are so grateful for your presence week after week. And if you really love what we do, those of you guys who love what we do and you like our philosophy and our principles when it comes to studying and learning, do hit the like and subscribe button.
Yeah.
Ding. All right, so you can get notifications, and it will also really help us reach more kids out there who hate studying but have to get good grades
Share to your
because of
friends.
parents. Yes, kids like me.
Mm.
Yeah, and share to your friends, like those who are like that, in that situation where they hate studying, but parents say you gotta study, you gotta get good grades, otherwise you can't go for your dance competition, you can't go for your dance class. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, which happens a lot. It's such a pity because I see some really talented kids having to stop doing the things they love, all because the parents prefer them to focus on exams. Yeah,
Right.
breaks my heart. Yeah. All right. Other than that, thank you guys for joining us. We love you, and bye.
Bye.
Wow.
Wow.